I want to welcome everybody to the On the Mat podcast. This show is to highlight high school athletes and also give these young athletes a platform to tell their stories as they pursue their dreams in life. No matter what the dream is, remember, this is only the beginning. I'm your host, Coach Paul, and that handsome young fellow over there is our co-host, Jay. Today's guest, man, you guys are in for a treat. Today's guest is from Eagle Rock High School in Los Angeles, California. This young man, as a junior, finished with 3,602 passing yards with 36 touchdowns. He had 211 rushing yards with 8 touchdowns. He's currently ranked 71st in the nation. Yes, folks, the nation. He's number 10 in California, and he's the number one LA City Section, Northern League, and California Interscholastic Federation quarterback. I'll say that one more time. He's number 1 in the LA City. He was also named first team All-City for Division I. We'd like to welcome Liam Pasten to the show. Yo, welcome, dude. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Hey, man. Thank you for blessing us, man. Like, when we were looking at the list and we were looking at quarterbacks, like we had certain ones, and I was just like, I don't know if Liam's gonna respond. Like your Twitter page it goes in spots, so it's like kind of quiet, and then boom, you have like some stuff you put out, and then it goes kind of dormant again. I was like, I don't know if he's gonna respond. Hey, man, I'm so glad you hit it. You hit me back right away. Like, yeah, I'm with it. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's an amazing opportunity, and I was just so appreciative, so I had to.
Yeah, heck yeah, man. You number 1 in LA City.
Woo! Yeah. The city. There's some good QBs too.
Yes, there was.
So, Liam, before we talk about the football stuff, can you tell us about your barber business, and then also just shout out the best way to get a hold of the business? Instagram, telephone, whatever.
So, I've been cutting hair since late into my freshman year, so it's been almost 2 years now.
Okay.
The best way to reach me would be on Instagram. My account is at YC_blends with 3 Z's. You can see all my stuff on there, like my cuts, my prices, and all that. But yeah, it's taught me a lot as a person and as a barber. So I'm just really grateful for it, and that's all I could say, really.
That's dope. I hate that. Hey, this is because of you. Hey, man, the number 1 receiver who you throw the ball to has agreed to be on our show too. He's with it too.
Shout out to Jonas.
Shout out to Jonas. Jonas. When this airs, we would have already scheduled, but yeah, brother, we getting you on the show too. Y'all are a number. You guys are a good combo.
Yeah, he's a dog.
Yeah. Hey, so how did you even get into haircutting, man? Like, is it just something?
So there was actually when I was a freshman, there was someone who was a senior, and he was like, my brother knew him.
Okay.
His name was Leo, and he was cutting hair for like similar to when I started. He started his sophomore year.
Okay.
And he was on the soccer team. They ended up winning a championship, but he was cutting hair, and like I heard how much he made in a year, and it kind of like surprised me for only being like junior. And I was like, damn, like, can I try this? Like, I want to see if I could do it.
Yeah.
So like I asked him for some tips, and he even told me when I first started that, like, since a lot of people had asked him, that he wasn't he didn't believe me at first.
Right.
Because there's people that asked him and then like they failed.
Yeah.
But later on he appreciated that I actually followed through with it. So but I got a lot of my inspiration from him. So
hey, there's nothing wrong with starting the business early, man, especially if you find your talent and it. Hey, let me tell you something. My son has a side hustle, bro. The fact that he don't got to hit me up for $5 every other day because he likes to go out with his friends. He likes to eat.
Yeah.
In fact, he's like, hey, Dad, he tells me and his mom, hey, just buy me a box of chips, give me some Powerades, and I'll do the rest.
Nice. Yeah, that's how it is with me.
It's awesome.
Eating out be getting pricey though. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe teach you how to save money.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Liam,
wait, before he gets into his next question, have you cut somebody's hair at school?
Yeah, that's where I started. I started at school.
Really? Nice.
I've done probably like a few probably a few hundred haircuts at school. I do them
Oh,
behind like classrooms, under the
okay.
bleachers, behind the bins, stuff like that. So
That's what's up.
Nice, nice.
all
So
over.
for any administration, you can't get mad at this young entrepreneur, man. Like, let the boy thrive. Let him
Really
thrive.
Yes.
clean up, leave no messes. So
That's right.
Yeah.
that's
There
what's
you
up.
This is yeah,
go.
and all of this is alleged too, just in case the principal's
Yeah,
watch. All of this is alleged.
Allegedly.
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 Hey,
If
so
you see
Liam,
it, you see it.
there you go, right? Until you see it. I like
Yeah.
that. Hey, Liam, so you come from a long line of Eagle Rock football players. How does it
Uh,
make you feel that you alone, well, you come from a long line. Everybody has made their own stat. But, dude, you made your mark on the program like hello this season. Like, how's that make you feel, man?
it feels great. Watching my older brothers and even my dad, seeing everything that they did for the school,
Mm-hmm.
it really like puts a lot of pressure on you, like knowing that you really got to do something. Otherwise, people are gonna look at you like, well, like he was the youngest one. He had the most coaching, the most watching, and he didn't do nothing with it. Like, so I knew I really had to do something, and it was my turn. Even last year playing wide receiver,
Mm-hmm.
I made all city. But once it was my time to step up to quarterback, I did what I had to do. So
Hey, so you kind of touch my question and Jay's question. That's perfect. So I'm going to ask this question because coming from and having that example, like you said, was there ever time you felt pressure to perform? And if there was, like, which one of your family members that had been in your shoes before were you able to lean on the most?
um, well, I knew there was a lot of pressure just
Okay.
because there's a lot of people counting on me.
All
But
right.
um, but since I feel like I've dealt with it since such a young age, I wouldn't feel it too much. Um, but I probably say I could lean on my middle brother Brooklyn the most, because he probably did the most. He led his team. He was middle linebacker. He had like number one in the city for tackles,
That's right.
and he led his team to open division, and they beat the one seed San Pedro.
Oh, shout out Brooklyn.
So yeah, so I'd say probably I can lean on him the most.
Okay.
He knows how to help. So
Would you say that you were the most talented out of your brothers?
I,
Oh, goddamn. I like that question.
no, yeah, I would say so. I've always thought so. Even though they always told me they were better than me, I always told them like, if you look at it, if you see how good I am versus how good you were at my age, I think I've always was better. But at the
Okay.
same time, I did have more coaching and like I was able to watch what they were able to do and like if they made mistakes, fix that to make sure I don't make that mistake. So I think I did have a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah.
So with that advantage, like you kind of got to be the best, and I think I am. So
Bro, he learned how to be a good follower to become a good leader.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what that is. That's legit.
that is legit. So, kind of staying on the topic of family. So, coming from a family of receivers, linebackers, you mentioned how you played wide receiver your sophomore year and you ended up with 700 yards, seven touchdowns. And then obviously your junior year you ended up playing QB. Can you kind of talk about how you ended up playing QB and what that transition was like?
Um, well, so I've been playing QB ever since I was young. Like playing youth football. Quarterback was my main position. I did play wide receiver like one year, so I knew having to make that change to wide receiver my sophomore year wasn't going to be like too hard, but it was definitely gonna be something a little different because it's high school football, so it's a
Yeah.
big change. Um, and being like one of the youngest on the team, uh, well, I was a freshman on varsity, so I was able to learn a lot that one
Right.
year, and
Yeah.
then coming in as a sophomore, it it wasn't too bad. I was able to the change wasn't too drastic.
Yeah.
And then when I went over to quarterback, I knew it wasn't going to be a problem because like that was my position and that was what I was most comfortable with.
Yeah.
So I didn't really feel like it was going to be nothing. It wasn't going to be too much at all.
That's legit. Like that's cool. Like, you're just an athlete, bro. Because
Yeah.
as Jay mentioned, you played receiver as a sophomore. And dude, you're number one this year. You guys had the best QB in the city throwing you the ball, bro.
Yeah,
Can you talk about what you were able to learn from Riley Braseo? I hope I'm saying your last.
Brissell,
Huh?
Riley Brissell, Brissell,
There you go.
Brissell.
And talk about what he was able to teach you last year as you converted into your back to your normal spot this year.
Um, he was a good leader, and he was really vocal, which was like very appreciated.
Okay.
I probably wouldn't say I was like the most vocal this year, coming off someone like Riley.
Okay.
He would talk like a lot, whether it was like leading the team or just talking trash in practice.
Oh
So,
yeah.
I think I definitely learned a lot from him, though. He's a great guy to be around, and I would do it again if I had the chance to. So,
Wow, that's
That's a great
impressive.
answer. Yeah, Riley was a dog. He led a couple great Eagle Rock teams, and honestly, the more I think about it, I feel like Eagle Rock is pretty slept on. To me, they pretty much like solidified themselves as a top D1 team, sneaking into open, just like this decade really. So,
Mm-hmm.
I
yeah,
mean, you guys are
we're
slept on
pretty
heavy.
we're a pretty small school, so we don't get looked at like that. But we usually tend to play pretty solid schools. Like we played Monrovia, we played Bell, Roosevelt, like all Division I teams like that. San Pedro Open Division. So we play good competition, but they don't really tend to look at us too much.
Yeah.
So it's good and it's bad, but you know,
Hey, being in the Northern League, because I know you guys like the schools are kind of like us over here in Southgate. Like we have 3 schools within 3 miles, like within a 3 mile radius. Like I have Southeast 2 miles from my house. I have Southgate a mile from my house, and then I have Legacy like 2 blocks from my house, right?
yeah,
You guys being at the bottom of the hill, if I'm correct, right? Like you guys are towards the or like the middle of the hill, because you guys can
uh-huh.
go up and hit Wilson or Lincoln and all them. How is it that you guys do get the group of kids you guys do like you do get? Like how was it other than you because you're Eagle Rock family bloodline? How is it that you guys
Uh-huh.
get some of the kids you guys get?
Um, I'm not really too sure to be honest, but I think it's mostly the education at
Right.
Eagle Rock
Yeah.
is since it's like the best in any of the
Yeah.
Northern League schools.
Right.
I think a lot of the parents want to send their kids over here, and then we just
Okay.
end up with some kids that just they want to play football. So
Yeah. So for some of the viewers and the listeners that may be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Let me clear this up for you because I did my research and all the kids that are there are part of a program and they're all on permits. So
yeah,
he's very correct. It's all educational. It's all legit. So that's kind of what I was getting at. Like your school offers things that the other surrounding schools don't offer. So you guys do get like you guys may not have kids flooding in, but the kids
no,
that
we
do
don't.
come are the kids that are cream of the crop, and you guys are balling.
Yeah, yeah, we were.
That's
Yeah,
cool, man. Go ahead.
they have a IB program. It's the
Yeah,
International Baccalaureate program.
that's the
Oh,
program
So a
you're
lot
nice.
of
part of, right?
kids, yeah, that's what I got my permit for.
Yeah,
So a lot of kids will come over here for that, and yeah, it's pretty, yeah,
yeah, no, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So when our boy Shotty put it like I read Schottenheimer's inner like article on you.
uh,
So I was just like I was pretty impressed like how that's why I asked like what was it that was the draw to the school because you do have like the other schools. So that's what I was trying to get at was your guys' academics.
uh,
Yeah, so that's pretty amazing, man. So like when I was diving into your whole situation, like when I was diving in to get to know you better, um, and I learned about Jonas. Can you tell me, like you mentioned earlier, he's a dog. Like, can you tell me what hit like your guys' connection? Because you were number one quarterback and he was number one receiver. So you guys went hand in hand. Like, just
yeah.
talk about your guys' relationship a little bit.
Um, well, it's like watching him the year. So I played wide receiver with him the year before.
Okay.
And that year we had Barry. I'm not too sure. Do you know who Barry is? Barry Weatherspoon?
Weatherspoon, yes.
Yes.
Yes, I know him.
Yeah, yeah. So we had Barry the year before that. Barry was pretty good. But I could tell by Jonas's like attitude that he and the way he worked, like he was going to be better than Barry. And most people thought Barry was going to be like the best. But I knew Jonas like worked harder and I could tell. and he had a good year. It's just Riley, intentionally or unintentionally, you just if that's your best receiver, you're gonna target your best receiver a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So Barry got most of the targets, but Jonas showed what he could do with the targets that he got. So I knew that he was gonna be a stud. So coming into that next year and being able to have him as my receiver it was like a blessing because whenever I needed him, I could count on him. He was gonna go up there and get that ball. He's not the biggest, but he's gonna fight for it, and he's
Yeah.
definitely one of the quickest. So it was just great though. I feel like we had a great connection, and I was very blessed to have him. So
Nice. So before Jay asks his question, do you already know who's going to replace him?
um
You don't got to give his name, but do you have an idea of
yeah, a little bit.
the next guy that you're like, all right, bro, it's me and you this year. It's gonna be all of us, but me and you are gonna have me and you are gonna have that connection too.
It's not as sure as
Okay.
I'd probably say it was with the way it was with Jonas, knowing
Okay.
that Jonas was going to be that guy.
Yeah.
But I think we might be a little more spread out,
Okay.
which is a good thing.
Yeah,
So.
that's dope.
Yeah, definitely a good thing. Sometimes teams could get caught up into trying to forward or feed the ball to one player, and honestly, having three good options at receiver and spread it out will make it that much difficult for
Yeah.
the team to scheme against you. So this year, you guys had an amazing season that led to you guys being ranked number one in the Division One bracket. But ultimately, you guys fell short in the semifinals to a really good Palisades team. To be fair, can you kind of walk us through that game and kind of what happened in your opinion?
So coming into that game, I knew it was going to be a tough game, and we hadn't been playing too good in the playoffs. And I'd say that was mostly on me because I was coming off a back injury against Franklin, so I hadn't practiced for 3 weeks. So I didn't practice week 10, the first week of playoffs, and then the second week against Cleveland. So I was out for 3 weeks. So coming back, and kind of seeing the way our offense was playing, I knew I was going to have to practice the week of Palisades, to kind of get my team back together. And I probably got back up to 80% against Palisades. I was able to run the ball, throw the ball. And coming in that game, they had us losing. So I knew we were gonna need a score in order to be in that game because Palisades is gonna put up points. That's just what they do, and that's what they were doing the whole year. So I was kind of hoping that we were gonna be good, scoring 40 50 points. And it was a close game all the way through. We were going touchdown for touchdown, and we ended up scoring I think it was 47, something like that, 45.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was going to be enough, but I mean, our defense kind of let up early in the second half, and the game got away from us, and we just couldn't finish that one out. So
yeah,
it was a tough loss.
Damn, sucks.
Yeah, it's tough to win games when your defense allows 60 plus points, but you guys put up 45, so I mean it was a shootout.
Yeah,
Probably until the end. So my kind of did you play the first week of playoffs against Crenshaw?
I did, but I was very immobile, so I couldn't really move too much, and I was kind of just walking, jogging around.
Yeah.
Sprint. So it was kind of unfortunate. And I know my coach was getting on me because we were losing the game. It was 6-0 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was telling me is this really how you want to end your season? You're over here walking, just getting on me, being hard, wanting me to play my best. So
Yeah.
we ended up winning the game, but I was barely able to do 10% of what I could actually do. So
yeah.
So the game plan going into that game, was it kind of okay, we're just gonna run the ball and lean on our running back in the line?
Yeah, it was mostly keep it short, try to let the receivers do stuff with the ball after, run some pitches underneath, misdirection. So
yeah.
kind of keep it short.
Keep it limited. Keep you upright.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense because
Yeah.
I was kind of wondering when I was seeing tweets at halftime, seeing the scores, wait, I love Coach Gary at Crenshaw, he's a legend, but
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really think
It shouldn't have been the score.
Yeah,
Yeah,
No, it
that's
shouldn't have
smart.
been.
we should
Like,
have
No
been like,
disrespect, Coach Garrett.
yeah.
I love the Crenshaw program what he's doing. But my next question for you is: after being the top team in D1, as a leader, what is your message to your team this offseason so you guys could come back next year and make it to a championship and win a championship?
Um, I think we just got to hit the weight room. I mean, I feel like as a team, we've these past few years, I feel like we've been too small. And the thing is with a lot of these top teams is the physicality. It's a big difference. And I think to really finish out a game, like you got to be like not only like knowing your assignment, being like mentally tough, but you got to be physically tough. And if you're just gonna get bullied every single game, like you're gonna get worn out, and
yeah,
you're gonna end up like slipping and losing a few games. And that's kind of how it was with us. You know, Palisades was just bigger than us, stronger than us. I think we were a better team. I think my offense was better than Palisades' offense. I think
yeah,
they just had the better. We had a weaker defense, and
yeah,
they broke a few long touchdowns, and it just happened, you know. So
yeah. So that actually, I'm glad you spoke of that because that would actually bring me to my question, right? Before your final loss of the season to Palisades, the only two teams that you guys had lost to in the season was Monrovia. You lost by 19, another high scoring game, 59-40. But the one lopsided game on your schedule is San Pedro, 49 to
uh,
6. Both of these teams are at the top of their league. So would you say both of those teams helped you prepare and helped you go through league and get you ready for the playoffs?
I think they definitely did. I think the team that helped us prepare the most was probably Monrovia.
Okay.
With them being like a southern section team,
Yeah.
you know, they're always going to play tough. You're not going to get you're never going to get like an easy game. So I think that's why we like scheduling those teams.
Okay.
And they really helped us like get ready. You know, I took some shots. We all took
Yeah.
some shots. And it really helps you like understand what like varsity football is really all about. Um, that San Pedro game, it was tough because the only reason we kind of had them on our schedule was that since that 2 years ago when we were in the open division when we beat them, you know, they were kind of mad, so they wanted to schedule us back. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say kind of mad; they were like really mad,
Yeah. So they threw you on
and
the
they wanted to
schedule.
schedule us back just because, like, you could tell
Now,
they were kind of butthurt about it. But
hey, we all know how that goes. We all know how that goes when we pop the big dogs or when, yeah. So when you're in a game like that, right? Like a lopsided game, what is the message to your team? Because I know you know for a fact, you're just like, and the way I'm going to put it is because I know how players are. Like you're looking at the score and you're just like, fuck, dude, 49-6. Like we should have more than 6 points. Like what's your
yeah,
message at that point on the sideline to your teammates? Like, I guess you're looking not for a moral victory, but you're just trying to keep your morale up.
yeah, I think with every team, you're just trying to make sure like they don't just lose hope.
Okay.
Like you really gotta uh, show some pride and like finish the game out with full effort. Like even if you're not gonna win the game, like you're gonna give it your all. Um, and I think that game was tough though, because that week we tried to implement like a lot of new formations
Okay.
and like kind of like trick plays. And I think we got a little messed up with like our calls. So I think our offense wasn't really flowing how we were used to. Not saying we are going to put up like 30, 40 points, but we probably
Right.
should have had another like 2 touchdowns. Um, but I mean, those games are tough, and you just got to make sure you're not like giving up on your team and hanging your head and wanting to sub yourself. Like you got to finish the game.
Yeah.
Nice. Now, Liam, kind of 2 points before I ask my last question, and we'll just kind of wrap it up from there. So first, like the loss against Monrovia, that's like, yes, not the outcome you guys wanted, but Monrovia is a damn good team, putting up 30 plus points on a really good team. Nothing to be ashamed of, and
At all.
also like San Pedro, they put up 30 points on an Arbonne team that was
Yeah,
running through everybody in the city. Although those are losses, those are two losses that you definitely shouldn't hang your head about because those are two really good teams. Kind of just my last question. Being ranked number one QB in the city section comes with a lot of pressure. What is your approach going into next year, and how do you think you'll handle that pressure?
Um, I think I'm gonna handle it perfectly fine. I mean, coming into this year, that's what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything less than number one in the city and at least somewhere ranked possibly on the California charts. So, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not trying to be like cocky. I wasn't like too surprised seeing myself up number one and seeing myself up there. I mean, it's what
Nice.
I've been doing and it's what I'm planning to do this next year as well. So I think just preparing as much as I can in the off season, putting in as much work is going to get me there, and hopefully even further, so I could take my team, to a championship, which is the ultimate goal. So
That is awesome.
Nice. I like
So
the
before
confidence,
we,
man.
yeah, me too. So before we let you go, I'm gonna ask the question because you got like you really don't post like what's going on with like your recruitment, man.
yeah, I
What's
need to more
what's
actually.
up? Like we got schools knocking at the door.
No, not yet. I'm
Oh,
working on it
oh
though,
yeah, we
but
gonna change that. Send me your huddle. I'll copy your huddle link. Send me that. If you need any help on that, you probably not because like number one in LA City, you do damn fine yourself. But if you need help, got any questions? I know you got your dad, but I got some plugs too, man. I'll shoot them your
I'll
way.
definitely text you. I'll let you know about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, for sure.
I don't mind any help, no matter who it's
Cool,
coming from. So
sweet. We number one in the LA City. We gonna get this. We gonna let you shine, brother. We gonna let you shine.
yeah, it's definitely a pleasure.
Hey, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. We thank you for your time. Hey, for the viewers and the listeners and everybody that tuned in, we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and follow all three of us on X, and we'll follow back. But until next time, y'all have a blessed one. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.